Welcome everyone to ControlUp Community Meetup number 13. Today we're going to dive into dashboards, and I'm really excited about the dashboard stuff. It came out, when did you guys release this? A year ago? Was it last
No,
summer?
no, 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 no. It went GA in September,
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
so less
That's
than a
almost
year,
summer.
but
That's still summer. Let's
yeah,
call it summer. Late summer. So
yeah.
it's been a while, and it's been one of those products that's really taken off, and the feedback we get is really amazing. So we wanted to do something a little bit more, for you. Again, the best way for you guys to get value is ask questions. No question is too easy, and no one's too difficult. Well, some are too difficult, but I always like to play let's stump our guest. So the second of all, the community for you. So like I said, the best way for you to get value of it. We're not looking, we get the value from you guys being happy, right? So please, if there's anything we can do for you, please let us know. Inside the ControlUp community, inside Slack, ask us questions. If you have ideas, if you want feedback, anything, if you want to share feedback with us, we'd love to hear it. So the community is for you. Let us know how we can make it better for you. And if you're not a member, there's the link right there, ControlUpCommunity.com, ControlUpCommunity.com, and then you'll get to click the join button. And last, we have another meetup next month. So like I said before, or last month, we're committed to do these every single month. And we're going to, well, I'll talk about that in a second. And next month is our 14th episode. And we're going to dive into DAS IQ with our PM. So I'm really excited about that. And what do I say? Click there, take a picture of this thing, go to, this link right here, and sign up for this thing. And of course, when we're all said and done with this webinar, I'll send you an email with the link and the recorded version. But we are going to do an extra meetup. And we had so much fun with the last meetup when it was myself and Yoni and Shane and Eugene, and those three I mean, we could have gone for 2 hours, 3 hours, and and still never lost a single attendee. It was such a great just to hear these people talk and just go off on what they were passionate about, interrupt each other. Yoni was drinking a beer, so I sort of informally call this two dudes and a guest. And the other dude is, besides myself, is going to be Eugene, and Eugene's always a blast, always has great ideas and willing to share whatever he might think. And then our first guest is going to be a gentleman I've known for 25 years, literally 25 years. I think last month I met him 25 years ago. And he's the CEO, founder of White Hat Virtual in Austin, Texas. And I was chatting with him. He talks about this amazing ideas around applying physics to IT. And I was like, wow, let's bring you on two dudes and a guest, and let's just shoot the shit about this stuff. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So I hope you'll join this one too. The link is coming soon, so I'll get that out to you, or stay tuned for the community. So I'm still putting together the invite. So enough already. Let's do this thing. But again, last but not least, use the Q&A piece. And if you just want to chit chat, chat is cool. We have the chat down there too. So on that note, let me stop sharing.
And let me start sharing, probably, right?
Yeah, exactly. The floor is yours,
Let's
Chris.
see. Yes. Okay. So, hi everyone. Chris here. Think most people. Let me, by the way, quickly open this one. So I still have it on my second screen. So most of you probably know me. I work at ControlUp as Solution Innovation Manager, and I helped set up ControlUp for Dashboards. These days, I'm working in the CTO office, working on some awesome new stuff, and I help the new dashboard PM. We have a new product manager, especially for data and dashboards, and I help her with dashboards. So I'm still a subject matter expert when it comes to building dashboards and features and what we're working on. So I'm doing the masterclass today with you guys. So what are we going to do today? So my idea is as follows. I want to go over some stuff that we recently released to get you up to speed of some new things. I want to go over stuff that's going to be released on Sunday. So Sunday, we have a big release for dashboards with some awesome new features. I'm also gonna tell a little bit of stuff that might be coming even further, or what we're thinking about, like not really a roadmap session, but things that we do know that we one day want to add and try and create. In the meantime, I hope this will give you time while I'm explaining all this stuff to oh, my Zoom is doing weird. Okay, I'm still here, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I hope that this will give you time to start typing in some questions, either in the chat, or we have the Q&A button down in Zoom too, of stuff that you might want to see or want to have answered. I am here. We can build widgets together. We can build dashboards together if you have questions about certain stuff, or just any question about dashboards. And we also have some questions prepared if we that we can go through Doug and me to give even more insights. So yeah. So let me start with some stuff that we've recently added to dashboards. So one of the big ones that we've done is we now have data from VDI in dashboards. So this means you can build widgets in the same dashboard with desktop data and VDI data.
Oh, that's a huge one. That is an absolutely huge. I think that was probably the #1 request, right?
Correct. And the guys from the VDI team are adding more and more tables to this list almost every week. I think I might see more tables already now than the last time that I opened this. So how it works is Dashboard is now a platform service, and then all the other products can hook into dashboards, and they are now responsible for their data delivery to dashboard. So this means let us please know if you still miss any VDI data and stuff, and we'll bring it to the team. The VDI team is now in control of doing this this data. So
that's it, Chris. I'm sorry, I want to interrupt you on that. So they can request things like that, and if so, where do they go? Is that in user voice, or just post it, drop it in the dashboards channel of community, or reach out to you, or all the above?
Both the dashboard channel and of course user voice. We are always looking at user voice, but also the dashboard channel in community is a good one to say, like, I missed this or that. And then we'll pick it up. The person on the ControlUp side responsible for adding the data is Sonny, and because he's the PM for VDI, so he is running this, and he can add the extra data, but he reads that channel too. So, or else Sonny's Dutch, I'm Dutch, we'll find each other. It's all good. So yeah, we have a lot of tables now in here. We have like Netscaler, we have Citrix licensing, we have hosts, we have sessions. I see someone already asked now, can you show average RAM usage per machine dashboard in VDI? Yes, you can. We can go to machine, we can go to memory, and I think it's memory in use average, and we can group that. He wants to be grouped per machine name, and machine name is VM name. We can make a top 50, we can put it in a nice table, and here we go. So the answer to that one is yes, we can make a widget. Of course, this widget does completely work with the daytime together. So that works. You can see if you change it, the numbers will change. We also introduced a new loading icon, by the way, on the widgets, which is really nice. So VDI data is there. I see someone has their hand up. We want to make this interactive. So if you already have something for me now, that's fine. Lena, can you type your question in chat or in the QA?
I don't see the hand up.
Oh, I saw a hand up, but yeah.
In participants. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, please let us know how we can help.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. So checking if we will share this dashboard. Well, not really. Probably because I don't know what we're going to build today. I'm just going to make examples. So maybe we can share it, but I can also show some cool video dashboards that we are going to share. I'll show that in a minute. Mine shows null for VM name. We don't need to troubleshoot now. I just want to see if it works. Okay, yeah. It might be that the machine table is correctly, but yeah, let's we can troubleshoot. Brian, I would say like please send a screenshot of it in the dashboard channels and we'll figure it out. I'm also not an expert on VDI data, to be honest. I know a lot about the desktop data, but the VDI data, why yours might be null, I have no idea. But luckily we have Sonny, the PM of VDI data. He can probably help. So yeah. My question, our dream dashboards is to show when a user last logged into our persistent VDI sorted by oldest to newest. I want to quickly see who has logged in quite some time to reclaim resources. I do think we capture user time and we capture the time they are logged in, I think. So maybe you can build it. If you go into these datas, we do have session info. But keep in mind, this is like you're checking in a certain time range. So that thing might be, I know there is a script for that too, to check unused resources. It might be more of a script thing, but I get what you're saying. Let's figure it out. Let's put this question, if you want, please also in the community dashboard channel and we'll figure it out. If we can find something, I can take a quick look, but I'm also, like I said, not too familiar with all the VDI things. So let me quickly just go over some of the new features, and then we'll start going into the more of the questions. So we have the VDI currently. Currently, there are some limits. So VDI actually recently added unique count. So we can do a computer unique count. That's new. They added it, I think, like 2 weeks ago, but there's still no time series so you can have a graph over time in VDI, but that's coming too. It should be out, I think, in 1 or 2 sprints, which means in 2 to 4 weeks, we'll have time series in there too. So yeah, this is a big one. We have ControlUp for VDI. Another big one. So let me build a desktop widget now to put next to it. So let's just make the very, very basic CPU load gauge that we always do. I'm going to add that. So another thing we have recently added to dashboards is the new filter section. So filters used to be on top here. It used to be a clunky UI and not that many options. But these days, filters is this nice UI where you can filter per product. So currently you can only apply full filters to desktop, because filters on top here are applied to all the widgets that you build. So they are like global filters. We have in-widget filters, but these are global. So each widget that you build with desktop should be able to filter on all these things that we have here. So currently we only have that for desktops, but I can tell you we are working on VDI global filters too. And that will be, at first it will be VDI folders. So as you know, if you set up the real-time console, you have all these folders in VDI. Those will be represented in this new filter UI. But yeah, with this new filter UI, we also introduced 20 new things to filter on, even something as a if the machine is online or not. So we have online, true or false. So only show me data from online devices. We'll change this widget. Show me only from Washington. Oh, I clicked so city, Washington, apply. So yeah, you can now filter your dashboard in a lot of ways with 20 built-in filters. You can also combine filters. So you can say, okay, I want Windows 11 in Washington. Well, that's 0. You can also go into query filter where you can do all and any, so and or filters. So You can add multiple conditions, multiple stuff here for all these fields, which is very cool. We also changed the look of variables. So if you go into a dashboard in the gallery, for example, that also has variables, you will see that the filter and the variables are now in one line. So it's really clear of how you're looking at this dashboard. So if we take this application usage comparison dashboard, and we're going to use it, for example, to compare if people are using more Chrome or Firefox. Well, no one is using Firefox in this environment. Okay, that's cool. Safari, Brave, Edge. Well, I'm in the demo environment and we're not all too much data in here, but yeah, we have a comparison between Chrome and Edge. And now if I still add the filter where I say, okay, I only want to see this for Dublin and Lancaster, then this gets now filtered on all these things that we have on top here. So it's all in one row to easily see how the filter is applied. So that is something that is recently new. Let's go back into the dashboard building. So what more is recently new is our grid widget. Our grid widget allows you to see raw data directly as if you would go into devices. So let's do that too. If you go into devices, many of you might know that if you go into the settings and into data, this is a way to see the raw data. So if we go into the devices index, so this is a raw data viewer that every row that you have is represented here. And we now have this raw data viewing capability in dashboards, and we are calling it a grid. So how does it work? You select your index. So let's select the devices just as I did there. And now I can say, okay, this is going to be a grid. The UI here will change because now you can select multiple metrics that you want to display there. So for example, device name, battery health, the last username, the agent version, can all fill it in. I can set a metric to sort it on. So I can say, okay, let's sort this on battery health, high to low. So it starts with 100. And I can also change the column order. So I can say, okay, I want this one there. I can also change the column size. Currently, you can only change the column size in this widget preview window here, which is a bit clunky. That's one of the things we have on the roadmap to make this a little bit better experience in changing the default width. But yeah, let's add it to the dashboard. And yes, as you can see, this supports paging. So you are able to show 100 in one page. And this is raw data. So one thing that is also cool is it is searchable. So you can just search on, well, on a certain, for example, let's add the cities to this too. So public IP city. And then we can just search like, okay, I want only the Dallas. And now the grid viewer is filtered on Dallas. And we can click clear filter, which is really cool. So the only thing is with this, it isn't aggregating data. So if your data that you're looking at, for example, this is the devices index, but we also have an index that is device status, and that is historical. So that's writing a row each minute. So if I'm looking at the raw data up here in the raw data viewing here, so we go to device status, you will see, and let's put it to not show 10, but show 100. You will see that machines have like a lot of rows. So each machine is writing a row every minute. So this is, well, this can be in large environments, this can be billions of records in a week. So if I make a grid with that index, so if I do device status and we make a grid and we'll do the same, we'll say, okay, give me battery health and give me device name, and I don't know, give me GPU load. It's all good. And let's also do this on battery health. You will see this index isn't that good to make a grid out of, because this index, you can see it didn't aggregate the data. So these are the raw rows I'm looking at, which will be a raw row per minute per device. So yeah, so keep in mind when using grid, it really works when you have a data table, an index where the device is just writing to one row. Then you can easily display all these rows. If the device is writing a lot of rows, then yeah, it might look like this if you don't apply the right filters, but there's no way to aggregate it to say like, okay, but group it now by one value. That's what we do in a table. So in a table, it is possible to say, okay, I want that battery health, right? And then I want a table and I want to group it by devices. And then you can do a max of 50 because this is aggregating data. So this is a query and there are limits to how much you can do. So one question I get now a lot is like, or actually I get two questions a lot about the difference between a table and a grid. So first off, a grid is raw data, no aggregation, but it uses paging. A table can get only 50 results, doesn't use paging, and it uses aggregation, and it's one aggregation. But I have good news, because a lot of questions I get is, what if I want to add multiple metrics to this? So I want battery health, average CPU, average VRAM in a table. How can we do that? And I'm going to show you very quick, because that's what we're adding this Sunday. So next Sunday, we'll do a release, and it will allow you to add multiple metrics to a table. We're also looking and adding paging in a table. So instead of a maximum of a top 50, you can set a top 1,000, and we'll try and get that in the table, but it will then be pages that you have to go through, just like this one where you go throughout these pages. So that's one that's been asked a lot too, is why is the limit 50? And I also can explain it pretty easily, because if you go into a time series and you do a top 50, we're now getting, and I put this to 30 days. This means that for each of these 30 days, I'm getting 50 data points. So that's 30 times 50. That's 600 data points. Yeah. But I can also enable this, get top per data point, which means I want the top 50 per day. And that can be a difference. So this can go up to like 6,000 data points or whatever. And this is like the limit of the data pipeline that we use. This is like too much limit. So this can be already like 6,000 data points, which is like a lot. So if we would set this top to 1,000, then this widget can display maybe up to like 60 or 70,000 data points. Bring down your tenant, no one will be happy. Plus the time series already looks horrible with the top 50, right? You don't actually want to use this. So what we want to do is we want to make it that if you select table, that this limit will go up. So that is something that's far in the future, or far, well, multiple metrics in the table is in the future coming Sunday. And then after that, we're going to look at that paging problem, so you can have a higher top. And far sounds very far away. It won't be that far away, but yeah. So we have enabled the grid. So another cool thing we have recently added, and then I'm going to go into what we're going to add on Sunday, is clickable widgets. And we have this in a few different ways now. So let me show this on the big screen dashboard. So first off, everywhere where you, this is big screen dashboard VDI, sorry. I want to go to big screen dashboard for desktop. So anywhere where you see a device name, you can click on it and it will bring you to the device. But not only that, one thing that we are also doing is we're sending the time frame. So I'm looking now at 7 days of data. So when I click on the device, this will also go to 7 days of data. So you're looking at the exact from the dashboard, like the device and the time frame, both are going to be sent when you click on the device, which is really helpful. So if I set this to the last 4 hours and I click now on a different device, then this will be, the last 4 hours of data. So the dashboard and the rest of the product are better at talking to each other. The other thing is if you see usernames somewhere, so let's see, do I have a widget here with usernames? I don't think so, but we can go into this one. This one has usernames. So usernames, the same. Usernames you can click. It will also take over the time frame, and it will bring you to the employee view of this user. So you can directly deep dive from a dashboard. Then the other thing we have added is also clickable widgets. So you can make widgets. So let's go into, I think we did it in this one. Oh, this is, by the way, new. So if a dashboard requires you to import first a script or to set up end user activity or that kind of stuff, we warn you about it. And we link to a setup guide. You can click, don't show this to me again, and then just close it. And then it's gone. But yeah, it's now, we got a lot of questions from the community. I go into this dashboard and this dashboard is empty. And then it's like, yeah, didn't you see the small tag where it says it has a prerequisite? That wasn't the best experience. So we have this nice module now coming up that's saying like, okay, this is why it's empty. So yeah, but we have clickable widgets. So down here, I have a grid viewer with all these machines. And if I now click on this bar, it will filter this grid. So you can set up that a widget now acts as a filter for a different widget. So that's what we call in click-through variables. The same is with donuts. So this works currently for donuts and for bar charts. So it's pretty cool. You can also combine multiple. So if we go into the device health and right size dashboard, you can see, okay, I want to see things that are fair, that have a high confidence level and have issues with battery health. And you will see down, you see all the widgets, by the way, are filtering down when I click. And then if you combine it with a grid and you add those filters to a grid, it's really good because that brings you down to the 4 that we have now selected. So if we clear the filters, I have the full list. If I click on a slice, this will filter. All the other widgets are getting filtered on that too, and this one too. So it's like a filter that you can use. We're also still looking, but this is a bit further in the future, of making them even more interactive. So for example, I click on an app crash and it will bring me to the app crash details dashboard with the app crash filled in. It's stuff that we work on too. So that is stuff that we recently did. Let me show what's coming Sunday because it's very, very cool. So the first thing that's coming Sunday is...
Hey, Chris,
yeah.
Before you do that, we have a couple questions. Did you answer those? Have you seen them?
No, but let me finish up what's coming on Sunday. And then on the end, we're just going to do the last, I hope, last more than 20 minutes. So I'm trying to be fast, just full on for questions.
Works for me. Works for me.
Yeah. So what's coming Sunday? Full on NetScaler dashboard from the VDI data. Super cool. It includes your uptime for your load balancer and your gateways, the amount of sessions on the NetScaler, CPU and RAM usage. And this is really big, certificate expiration dates. So I know that NetScalers and certificates are always a struggle. So we're trying to bring them together in this nice NetScaler dashboard. Also on Sunday, there will be an update to the big screen dashboard for VDI. It will contain more metrics. So also around sessions stuff. We'll also introduce 2 new dashboards. Oh no, well, one of them is this NetScaler dashboard. The other one is a Windows application stability dashboard. I can show that really quick in this environment. Bear with me for a second. Well, you will see it on Sunday. Yeah, this one, the Windows application stability dashboard, where you can deep dive really. For example, you take an application and we'll show you like top 50 slowest launches of the application. We show crashes, hangs, and freezes. We'll show the versions that are hanging and crashing. We'll show launch times, RAM usage of the application, process time of the application, network data averages and totals of the application, right? So it's really to deep dive applications. This dashboard is coming this Sunday. So let's go over to the even cooler stuff that's coming on Sunday. I have it running here in the test environment. On Sunday, we're going to introduce, so first off, we're going to introduce multiple metrics in the table. like I said, right, I just showed you, we currently have one metric in the table. Well, soon, what we're actually introducing on Sunday is this advanced section. So if I open the builder, by default, this advanced section will be closed, but you can unfold it and there will be two advanced features you can do. You can enable trends and you can enable extra metrics. So I built this widget, this table, and then in the advanced metrics, the advanced section, I've added 4 extra metrics. So I can have a total of 5 metrics now in a time series, a table, or a bar. So I can also have, we can also do, okay, we had CPU load, but we can of course also add like, okay, let's do CPU load, the minimum, the lowest values, for example, which is always 0. Can anyone guess what would be the maximum CPU load that we record? Doug, any idea if we do a CPU max?
I would hope.
So that would always be normally a 100, but in this test environment, it's a small test environment, it's 49. But yeah, in a normal environment, this will be 0, that will be 100, but that's cool. And then we can so you can also have multiple metrics, but with different aggregations. So you can offer the same metrics with multiple aggregations. So percentile of your CPU load, average. So all of this can be in one cool table now. And you can still then, even though it's multiple metrics, you can also still group them by 50, a top 50. And then in the group by, you can also say group them by one of the metrics that you've chosen. So that means it's grouped by CPU. So if I would have multiple devices, I'm grouping them by CPU. They will be sorted on the CPU. So multiple metrics in the table. I know a lot of people have asked for it. With multiple aggregations, multiple way to aggregate it. I think that's super, super cool that we're adding it. So this is in a table, but I can also show this is, for example, in a bar. So this bar now displays per process this total CPU time and the user CPU time. So you can do those type of things, which is really cool. You can also still make the bars clickable, and it will just click this whole unit for this process. And down here, you can also see we have 2 metrics in the timeline. So you can see that I have CPU load and CPU load. Yeah, one is percentile, the other is average. But in this one, I have free RAM and the CPU load together, grouped by device. That all works. So that is super, super cool. Multiple metrics. The other cool thing that we're going to add, and that's what you see here on the left side demonstrated, is we're going to add a trend indicator to widgets. Trend indicators will be available if you enable trends to a stat, a gauge, and a time series. So we can have a stat, a gauge, or time series. And in the time series, the trend is represented with a gray line. So you see that demonstrated here. We have a gauge, a stat, and a time series. So there are actual and pretty cool. This is why it's advanced stuff. We actually allow you to do different kind of trends. So let's deep dive them really quick. So we have 4 options for the trend. Selected time frame means that the time you have selected, which is 7 days, will take the normal query will be these 7 days, right? And then the trend query will be the 7 days before that. And then so the red line here is these 7 days. The dotted line is the last 7 days before that. And you can even see that we're also showing that in a legend. So you can see this is May 5th till now. And this is the week before, April 27th till May 5th. What you can also do is say, no, I want to just shift the trend to the last 24 hours. So this means it's now May 5 till now, but the trend is May 3 to May 11. So it's just shifted by 24 hours. And you can even see it, right? Do you see it here, Doc, that the peak here, well, in the trend, that peak, it was a day earlier because it shifted.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and so it's still, by the way, it still responds to the day time picker. So if I set it to 24 hours, will get, well, the last 24 hours. So that was yesterday and today. And the trend will be yesterday and the day before. So the 10th and the 11th, while the line is the 11th and the 12th. If we do today, the trend will be, yeah, also the 10th, 11th, or yesterday. But if we do it to select the time frame, it's the same, right? Because 24 hours, 24 hours. But if we do last 7 days, select the time frame, it's 7 days minus 7 days. I know this is sounding very complicated. I would advise to just enable it and click the first option. That's the nicest way of doing a trend. But let's say it like this. What if you want to compare today? So we're going to put it to the last 24 hours. And today's Thursday, not to yesterday, but you want to compare it to Thursday last week. You can do that. That means you set the dashboard to 24 hours, so today, Thursday. And then if you select the trend to 7 days, it's now doing Thursday minus 7 days is the Thursday before, so May 4, May 5th. So you can now compare Thursday to Thursday, but a week between. Can also, the last option is 30 days ago. So this is Thursday a month ago, the 11th and the 12th of April. So this is very flexible. And this is also how a lot of other programs like Grafana do the time shift. But again, I think the most thing you would select is just select time frame and the trend will change. It's also always a good idea when using a time series that you really see how the time frames are changed. And then in a stat and a gauge, we just take those two values, minus them from each other, and do a percentile. So this one is set to the last 7 days. So, and we have the 7 days. So this means that last week, this one was 7.2%. It's now 7.2% less than last week. This one is locked to last 24 hours, or also, oh no, the one on top was 24 hours. It doesn't matter. But yeah, this one is, the memory is 3.5% less than the last previous. Again, I would advise to just click on selected timeframes, but if you do want to make a dashboard where you want to say, okay, I want to see this widget and I select it for Thursday and I want to see the Thursday before the week before, you can do it. Those options are there. So I think that is, it is the advanced section, and what I'm talking about is really advanced data stuff. That's why it's the advanced section. But yeah, it's coming this Sunday. We will update our built-in dashboards pretty soon too. So 2 weeks after this being released, you will also see that the built-in dashboards will be updated to, for example, the big screen dashboard to all include nice trends in there too. And then the last thing I can show around dashboards that is coming, well, I cannot really show it, but I can talk about it, is DAS IQ. We will have data from DAS IQ in dashboards coming very, very, very soon. We're in an advanced stage of testing the data provided from DAS IQ, and it works too. So pretty soon you can build a dashboard that will display how many people are logging into your AVD throughout DAS IQ, with your VDI data around performance, with your desktop data around latency or whatever, all in one display, one dashboard. So those are the things that are coming. And yeah, this leaves us 20 minutes for you guys to just ask me any question you want. Again, we can build stuff, we can answer stuff. I'm ready. So let's go over it. I see that there are already 2 widgets are open, or 2 questions are open here. And feel free to type in more questions so we can go over it. Can you create a widget using data for custom indexes? Yes. We use parsecs for remoting. Our thinking one way to get end-to-end preferences would be to use a script to take session metrics from the parsec API, feed it into a custom dashboard, then dashboard it. Yes, Sean, that would absolutely work. I can even demonstrate to you that we have a lot of, so we actually, even in the dashboard gallery, we have these dashboards built by the Innovation Guild. Those are just custom indexes. Those are scripts you need to run. It actually says here, you need to run this script that will create a custom index. And we're displaying data from that custom index here. When you go into the builder, the dashboard builder, we're not filtering out any indexes. When you click ControlUp for desktops, all indexes are here. So you see custom indexes that start with set that someone made. Everything is in here. So yeah, you can do that. With VDI, it's different because you don't have custom indexes in VDI. So those are just data tables that we're making available. But desktops, custom indexes, yes. I would also advise you to take that API and put it in workflows. And workflows has the ability to create a custom index. I can quickly demonstrate that just to make the whole, let's see, where did workflows open? Here. So workflows, actually, I'm doing it here too. There is this task. They call it create custom index. So this one, create custom index. You can get data from an API. Choose the create custom index task. Name your index and type in your JSON payload, and it will add it. The only thing, so big tip for you, Sean, the only thing that you really need to make sure that the data that you're importing into the custom index has is this. It needs to have a current timestamp. So you either do that with clicking this to yes, or how I like to do it, I just take the time that it is now, and I'm writing this to a field which is called created local. Because dashboards, the filter here on top, the date time filter filters on _ created local. So if that's not filled in, the default it will pick, because an index will always have a create local time, but the default will be 9080. And as you can see, even with custom, we cannot go further down than 2011, so you won't see your data. So keep that in mind. If you're using a script to import that data, so you're running a script on a machine that puts some data in an index, then the created local is always automatically sent. If you're doing it throughout PowerShell or throughout the workflow, you need to add that field. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the community dashboard thing and I can send you examples. So, all good. We can close this one, I think. Yeah. And then Sean, amazing. Yeah. Again, reach out in the community if you need more help on that, but it's definitely a good use case. So what version do you need to be able to see the ControlUp for VDI? I don't think it's version linked, except for that I think it's linked to at least not the on-prem version. So when you have the on-prem version, we cannot link dashboards to it because dashboards lives in the SaaS world. So, but any current version of VDI, you should be able to see the VDI data provider. The only thing is you have to enable the rights. So that is a thing that I can show you. So if you go into any of these roles, to see the data provider for VDI in a dashboard, it's under reports and here, VDI data in dashboards. You need to enable this one to see that VDI data provider in your dashboard. It is documented, by the way. That's also a thing. Last Sunday, we did a full update of the dashboard documentation. The dashboard documentation was a bit lacking and it didn't include all these new features like grid and stuff. Last Sunday, full update over there. So it now includes grid and it includes stuff like this that you need to set up these rights. So yeah, but it isn't linked to a certain version as far as I know. So yeah, so let's answer that. So anyone have any more questions that they want to see, or else I know that Doug has prepared some questions that we can go over.
I have a few for you.
Okay, let's go.
So let me ask one, and then if let's see if anyone else has any other questions. So please feel free to ask. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to stump Chris. So, does drill through work from summary widgets down to individual session / device detail?
Yeah. So that's what I quickly just glossed over. What we recently released is yes. So we have this drill down capability. If you click on a device, it will bring you to a device or a session. And yes, it now includes the time frame. So if we do last 30 days, I click on a device, and as you can see, this will be also the last 30 days of that device. So we now have drill down that fully works together with the data. So the answer is yes.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to actually turn on my camera so people can see me. What else do we have here? Please feel free to ask. So let's see if we can stump Chris. I need prizes. I need like an ultimate prize if you stump Chris. How fresh is the data? Is it true real time or aggregated every X minutes? How fresh is your data, Chris?
That's a really good question. So this depends on the data providers, or what we are calling the providers. So if you go into Add Widget, you will see we have a provider for desktop, for VDI, and soon for DasIQ. And it kind of depends on the provider's implementation of data. What I can tell you, for desktops, all the metrics are aggregated by 1 minute. So you're looking at close to live data. Also, we have this button on top, live data. If you turn it on, so now it's on, it will refresh every minute. And because the data is aggregated per minute for desktops, this is like the most live you can get. The only way you can get even faster data for desktops is if you go into a desktop and you go into the active processes, the network storage or management tab. What you're seeing here is 3-second data. But this is saved locally on the machines. It isn't being sent into the index in 3 seconds. It's sending to the index in 1 minute. So I don't know if you guys ever saw this very cool. This is a bit newer, right? The management layer we put now on devices. We can even map out like this whole network and where are people going to and from which company and stuff. This is 3-second data. You see, every 3 seconds, this gets updated. Dashboards is 1 minute data when it comes to desktop. VDI, 5-minute aggregation. So VDI is not that far behind from real-time too. It's 5 minutes in between. So still, if you want to see a big CPU spike on your VDI, you have to go to the real-time console if you want to really see it within those 5 minutes, or else you will see the spike in dashboards, aggregated in 5 minutes.
Perfect. Another question along the same lines. So what is the historical retention for data, and does it differ by metric type?
Yeah, so it doesn't differ by metric type. It differs again by data provider and per tenant. So by default, now you're gonna. So by default, I know that ControlUp for desktop, depending on license, it saves 30 days or 60 days of data. And you can easily see this, by the way, by going into custom and find out how your tenant is. If you go to this month, you will see data. If you then go to last month and there isn't data, well, then you kind of know like your environment has 30 or 60 days. I know that there are licenses and there are ways out there to even extend it to 90 days or more, right? But that's really, again, depending on your tenant. And I believe the VDI data by default is also 60 days, as far as I know. But again, that might be different per tenant. Again, it is easy to find out if you click on these and you at a certain point don't get any data anymore, you know you reach your limit. So if we put this to last month and this is VDI data, yeah, it still works here. So I expect, because I know that the default is 60 days as far as I know. But yeah, this is a prize-worthy question, Doug, because yeah, it is different per tenant, different per license, and I'm not the salesperson that knows exactly which license, how much data retention you have. So I'm doing the best.
He's throwing the "I'm not a salesperson" answer. Oh
Yeah.
my.
Oh,
That was always my answer. I'll get you in touch with the sales guy. Uh, let's see. Can I scope dashboards by site, region, business unit, AD, OU, or custom folder structure?
yeah, so that's another good question. So let's go into a device inventory dashboard. It's a nice one that has a nice. So yes, so we currently release these filters that have a lot of this built in. So yes, cities, right? The region you're in, a country, but also we've included departments. So you have departments, and we did include even fields like manager. I know that that is something that a lot of people also want to filter the dashboard on, and this is a sync that you can set up from your Active Directory to have these manager fields, to have these department fields also come from Active Directory. And yes, so you can just click it on CTO, for example, and we'll see, oh, there's one device from our America field CTO, my colleague Marcel. His device we get in this way. So, and there are so many ways to split up this. We can also just say, okay, on hardware manufacturer, right? So show me the device inventory dashboard only for Dells. And this doesn't, and these filters work on all these dashboards. So it can also be like, okay, show me AI usage on Dells. I don't know if you want that. What's the cool thing about this? But it is possible. And like I said earlier, soon we'll have VDI down here, and then you will have the VDI folder structure. So if you know, VDI has this folder structure that that you can set up in the real-time console. It's also in the SaaS version. This is the folder structure that you're seeing right here. So it's EUC, ACME, brokers. This folder structure, we are almost like very, very close to replicating that here in this view. So then you can filter a VDI dashboard also all on just one folder. So yeah, it's really easy to section out your data these days.
I love it. I love it. And that works with the next question too. Can I have a dashboard collate on on-prem VDI, Azure, AVD, Citrix, Cloud, DAS, and physical endpoints in a single view?
Yeah, so definitely. So currently you again, right, we can have, I always like to do this example where we build a win logon, where we do logon duration compare. So this is a logon duration, milliseconds, an average logon duration. Well, it was milliseconds, so I have to tell it it's time, it's milliseconds. So this is the average logon duration on a desktop, average desktop logon. So let's make this here. Let's see, where did it put my nice new widget? Oh, in between here. These widgets have such weird shapes because I'm doing this like this, right? And then I can, let's duplicate it. Let's put it next to, let's edit this. So this, and we're gonna do like VDI logon. So we can go into VDI, we can go into session, logon duration, average, so this is seconds. By the way, we're working on a way that you don't have to click what the base unit is. That's one of the things for far on the roadmap that we automatically fill in for you. This is milliseconds or whatever, but yeah, this makes it human readable. So yeah, so now I have two widgets next to each other, one with VDI data, one with desktop data, and soon we'll have DAS IQ with this too. So if you use DAS IQ for managing your AVD environment, you will have AVD metrics on this too. Of course, you can install the VDI agent or the desktop agent on any device that you want and add that to here too. One good thing, by the way, to differentiate these two widgets, you can see we have added product icons. So this is the icon for devices. This is the icon for VDI. So you will see that each product has its own icon. Let me quickly, we have some time, so, and you guys are being very cool. So I'm going to show you the beta of the beta. Well, not really. We're very far ahead with this, but I just want to show you DAS IQ in the dashboard too. And you will see that it even has a different icon. So if we go into dashboards, this is where I have DAS IQ test dashboard. You'll see this is a different icon again. So this is now the DAS IQ icon. And you will be able to, so you can see here we have the DAS IQ and we have tables from DAS IQ. With I don't know if this actually has logon time. If it has, you can put it to it too. But DAS IQ isn't about performance metrics, right? That's what all our stuff about it. But DAS IQ will have, like, for example, cost insights about your environment and jobs it executed. So you can make a dashboard of how many auto-scale jobs did we run and how much did it save us per host pool. But just to show you, this will have, there's the nice icon of DAS IQ. So each has their own icon, and soon in the filters, we'll have VDI and DAS IQ in here too, and they also start with this nice little icon showing you what you're changing. So I think we have time for one more question, Doug. Is there one more question?
I have one more question. It's the last question. Okay. It's my favorite question out of the bunch. So what is the most common mistake new customers or new users of the dashboard make when standing up dashboards? Yeah. If you had one piece of advice to stay away from, don't do this.
Oh, yeah. I think the last time we did one of these sessions, I think I had the same thing as what I'm going to say now, is when building widgets. So first of all, building widgets is complicated, right? Most people on the call are usually, desktop admins, VDI admins, and aren't like BI experts, right? Aren't data scientists. You're a Citrix admin. You're not a data scientist. So let's start off with building a widget is very hard. If we talk about far roadmap, we want the Ask AI help you in a way. We're figuring out the way that it is to help you build your widget, so that you can just use natural language, type in, I want a widget with, I think one of the people had a really good example. I want a widget with average free RAM on my computers in VDI. And then the AI would be, here is your widget. So that's the goal that we're working on. That's really one of our hard goals for this year. You will be able to just type what you want to build, and in a way, the AI will help you. How it looks and stuff, I cannot go into that because we're deciding that all. But so but yeah, if you're building a widget, so I just want to tell you that. So if you ever struggle with this, just know that's okay, because this is hard. This is BI, this is data, and we're giving you all the metrics, and ControlUp saves so many metrics, Doc. We save thousands of metrics a minute. So knowing what metric is what, it's so hard. And we don't, and that's also, I do want to say, that's also why the community is there. We have this dashboard channel. If you're struggling with building a widget, don't give up, reach out. Just type, I want this.
Ask us anything.
Because we can send you a screenshot, or we can even send you the widget. We can make an export of a widget, and you can import it. So just really quick, one thing that a lot of mistakes I've seen is doing the group by metric and the metric you want the wrong way around. So if I now want to make a widget to show how many devices do we have per OS, a lot of people will start with devices, and then the metric, they will think, oh, OS, I'm doing stuff with OS. So they will go like, okay, let's do OS name, right? So we'll have OS name. And okay, a unique count of OSs. Okay, so I have 21 unique OSs. And then they'll group them by the device names. The problem now is, you can make a nice bar. The problem here is, now we've reversed these two metrics. I'm now counting how many unique OSs a device has. So instead of telling me we have 30 Windows OSs, I'm now saying this machine here, this machine that is called CentOS, has one OS on it. And that isn't really helpful. This is what I always think is like a nonsensical widget. So also just know that always the description is telling you in natural language what you're trying to do. So it's saying you're making a unique count of OSs by device name. Well, so again, so if we change this now around, we just change these ones, we flip them, it's very easy. And we say, no, we want device names. So count the unique device names, but count them per OS. And now we get the widget that we want. Now I see there are 21 devices on Windows 11. So this is a common thing that I see. Most people just click open the builder and okay, my metric is OS. No, the metric is the count of devices, and I want to group them by OS. And this is when you do stuff with group by, that those two get flipped around, and the impact is very devastating if you do it the wrong way around. So this is just a quick one that I'm always telling. And again, I don't blame you, right? And even if you have these type of questions, put them in the community, we'll help you as fast as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I know getting Chris's time is difficult. The guy is wearing many hats and very busy. So, Chris, thank you so much for taking the time to do this and all you do within the community too. And to all those watching, thank you for viewing it, for watching with us, asking questions, sticking around, all that jazz. We'll have one next month on DAS IQ, which is really neat. It's brand new, so it's even new to Chris and I, right? So, and then we're going to have our two dudes and a guest sort of talk. Lord knows where that goes with Val King talking about applying physics to IT, which I'm really excited about. So hope you'll join us. And if there's anything at all we can do for you, please send me an email, dbrown or db@controlup.com, or just post something in the community. On that note, Chris, thank you so much. And I thank you all for joining. We'll call it a day. Sound, Chris? Sound good, Chris?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. And yeah, please feel free to contact the ControlUp, the ControlUp dashboard channel in the community and post your questions that you might have. Thanks all for also the interaction, and see you in the next one.
Yeah, and if you have ideas for webinars, for events, for anything, just let us know, because we want ideas. You know, we come up with them on our own, a lot of feedback, but the more the merrier. So please let us know how we can help you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.